seen better days, but despite it all, we'll always have the sea.
So, which of you is more
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens!
Be the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Carrot, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Move along. Leave me be, I have a job to do.
You there! Cut it out!
Lords above, grant me patience. You're a source hunter, aren't you? Here because you think I killed my husband. How many times do I need to state and restate my complete innocence in the matter?
Legion's greetings. I have been informed about your heroics on the beach. So fair a lady I have seldom seen in all of Rivellon, my friend. And I have traveled more extensively than migratory birds do. She stands accused of murder, but in my mind, steadfast will I guard her. Never will I waver unless absolute proof of her culpability should be brought before. I am Septimus, 7th son in a household of 9, legionnaires all. Me and 2 brothers of mine were assigned to Shanessiel from day 1. Alas, both of them have long since fallen in battle against the dead. But never shall I lose heart. Jake's murder is, in a word, a tragedy. He was well loved in all of Shanessiel. The Council of 7 couldn't have wished for a better ambassador. That he of all people should have braved the undead siege for so long, only to...
The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth. The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth.
We've secured the perimeter.
Legion's greetings, Hunter.
The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than I am Esmeralda, wife of Jake, and now, alas, his widow. Poor man. We were both so young when we married. He so rich and I so poor, but his one and only princess just the same. Like I told just about every legionnaire in town, I don't know anything about poor Jake's murder. I want his killer found and tried, but everyone suspects me of this evil deed. And you're no different, are you? So what happened? Some of them tittle-tattling crab chasers down the pub call me a murderous gold digger and you believe them? These insinuations truly go beyond the pale. Oh, I think I'm getting one of my headaches. Well, what do you want to know? They came out of nowhere. Must have been, 2 years ago now? The very heart of winter. I smelt them before I saw them in the night. Torchlight reflected in their eyes like it does in predators. But these were no wolves. These were our ancestors, come to devour their offspring. Well, what do you want to know?
She seems to be quite adamant about her innocence.
We'll need to look for evidence if we want to prove she actually did the evil deed.
What do you think you're doing? Leave me be, I've a job.
fortune!
Move along.
Thank the Seven, we've secured the perimeter.
Can you spare a coin?
Assure me, dear Septimus, that you haven't been fighting those awful orcs. I can't bear to imagine something would happen to you.
Oh, but don't you worry, lady. We legionnaires are highly trained soldiers who see neither orc nor
Oh, but what if you were to be ambushed, caught unawares? Oh, catch me, for I might faint.
Cruel fortune.
A book about setting up the perfect crime.
Cruel fortune.
So tell me, Septimus, would your wife or sweetheart be compensated by the Legion should tragedy befall you on the battlefield?
I suppose so, milady. But seeing that I'm neither married, engaged, or attached in any way, I've never bothered to inquire.
Polite, handsome, and single. Don't go anywhere tonight, Legionnaire. I'd be afraid alone in the dark.
You there, cut it out!
Where's Jake? Did he finally run off with that white-haired woman? What was her name? Candice? Esmeralda's a funny character. She's always got ham on the brain. I've never been inside her secret room, but I bet it's full of hams too. I'd go in and see if I were tall enough to reach the...
so that's what that did.
Carries lots of cuts of meat. She carves them up herself, you know. An expert knifer, that one.
Bloodied dagger. Could this have been involved in the crime?
have none of that, you...
My, what a strong and the hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth. Listen, if you're going to accuse me of something, you had better find the evidence to back up your ridiculous claims. Perhaps it is you who should explain your presence in my cellar. And the dagger? It's simply a butcher knife used by my late husband to cut meat. He did so love to cook, the dear. What'll you think of next? Accusing me of bashing him over the head with a frying pan? Oh, that horrid tome of ill repute. It isn't mine, it was Jake's. He was a politician, don't you see? Always on the lookout for plotting rivals. Always trying to be one step ahead. Really, I should have thought a source hunter of all people would appreciate my dear husband's sense for survival. My, what a strong and handsome officer you are, kind Septimus. You must have fought many a battle, am I right? In fact, I bet you're a real war hero.
Oh, I'm no hero. I'm just doing my duty. For the Legion.
Well, you certainly are my hero. The rock upon which I may rest my weary soul in these trying and troubled times.
Never fear. As long as I'm around,
Anybody? Neither of you cares to see in his very existence.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Source Hunter. A sight for sore eyes, if ever there was one.
Hold her off you before she could do any real damage.
Join the Space Club if you've got an eye for Margaret Satan.
Come on, you chickens!
The face furious. She bit me in the face.
Change on your book with a wheel.
Everyone knows the ugly soldiers are the most fertile. In that case, you'll have the pleasure
Watch
of
the
putting
undead
down
quiver in their mouldy boots. Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies Shanessiel's ever seen.
Let's see. How good sheep's cheese will be to Martin's face. You'll only encourage it.
tell that to you, Elliot, who is said to
Now, I
have no
pulled her off
civility
here before
himself,
she could do
that
anything.
the king...
I know you're probably knee-deep in that awful murder investigation, but truth be told, the Legion could use your help as well.
Contest across his realm.
Face furious. She bit me in the face.
Look on the bright side. Everyone knows the ugly soldiers are the most ferocious.
We've been conducting a series of expeditions into undead territory, and I'm afraid I must admit they've met with very little success. Lieutenant Selenia, at your service. I'm Captain Aureus' second in command, but rest assured I am a lot more kindly inclined towards source hunters than he is. Now, I certainly don't mind a bit of healthy competition and even rivalry between our orders, but I, for one, have no intention of looking a gift horse in the mouth. And that is exactly what your presence in Shanessiel is, Source Hunter. A gift and a blessing. Only heroes such as yourself can make a true difference in this troubled part of the world. Such is my honest conviction.
I'll be disfigured for life.
Fresh heaven!
The undead. I pitied them at first. Many among them were once kind and innocent civilians of Shanessiel after all. No longer do I feel that way, though. Too many of my soldiers have fallen. The dead must be put down without mercy, if we can. The bravest among my men and women tell me they are weaker in the west and stronger in the east. So I suggest you head west. I shall be very glad to share what information I can give you.
I think that was it.
Don't pay attention to it.
If ever we want to be victorious in Shanessiel, we have to track down the root of the undead uprising. Under the Pact of Volunteers, 3 expeditions were launched to do just that. But so far, none of their participants have returned.
Now, I pulled her off you before she could do
3 landmarks were chosen for further investigation. The lighthouse, the burial mounds, and the old church. Places fraught with danger all.
The face furious. She bit me in the face.
Look on the bright side. Everyone knows the ugly soldiers are the most ferocious.
Ugly will be the least of it. The beast looks rabid.
In that case, you'll have the pleasure of putting her down yourself.
I wish for you to try, screech woman.
The beast speaks? So you've half a brain behind that feral maw, have you?
There's a lighthouse to the west, up on the bluffs, overlooking the sea. No man has gone there in a decade, and yet the locals say it's haunted, and half a dozen legionnaires have gone to find out whether or not those are mere tall tales. I fear for their safety. There are ancient burial grounds to be found north of the city. As good a place as any to start looking for necromancers, wouldn't you say?
Any real damage? Are you joking? I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured for life.
A local archaeologist offered to tag along with the men. Here's hoping his knowledge on the subject may prove to be of use to them. There's a church to the northeast of here, built atop the very place where once stood a temple dedicated to the source. The site's all superstitious mumbo-jumbo, if you ask me. But when the dead rose, that is when they were first spotted. Hence the expedition. It's very sweet of you that you are trying to get these men a job, but I'm afraid they're not Legion material. Sure, they can tie a knot and blow a whistle like the best of them, but even with a sword in their hands, they wouldn't stand a chance against the undead, and I don't want any more blood on my hands. So I did. The Pact of Volunteers. Many Legionnaires will do whatever it takes to go home, which is why I personally sign their transfer orders the moment they make it back. The chances of survival during these sorties are only about 1 in 10, you see. So my soldiers are free to volunteer, and if they are successful, they just board.
Ugly will be the least of it. The beast looks rabid.
In that case, you'll have the pleasure of putting...
Hey, who's that then? Come on, stand where my good eye can see you.
Easy, Tull. That's the source hunter you're talking to.
She may have the look of a woman if you squint hard enough,
but she's no more than a wild animal. We got reports of a strange-looking outsider skulking through the town with her bow drawn. I found her crouched behind a tree, taking aim at a fat old rat trotting along the city walls. I tapped her on the shoulder to see what was what, and the beast startled like a wild cat and lunged right at me.
Bit Tullia right in the face, she did. It wasn't pretty, and now it's got a chunk ripped off it to boot.
Recruits! That was sloppy.
Enjoy it while you can, Ver. There's not another legionnaire in the cohort that'll have you if I go rabid.
Well, that's to be decided. She doesn't seem to be sick, despite Tully's moaning. We can't keep her here forever, but we can't well send her into the wilds again, can we?
Attention! About face! To the barracks! March! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again! Attention! About face! To the barracks! March! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian.
We're here to hunt source, not play babysitter. Sorry, but we can't take responsibility for a stranger.
Those boots would embarrass a bridge troll. Get to shining, recruits.
Sorry, sir.
Emphasis on the strange. No.
Can't say I'm surprised. You wouldn't want an untamed thing like that sleeping.
If I've got my say...
Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
You don't think it's infected, do you?
Come on now, I pulled her off you before she could do anything.
What have we here, then? A so-called source hunter, eh? Well, look, do what you must in Shanessiel, but don't make waves and don't interfere with the Legion's affairs. You hear?
Knows the ugly soldiers are the most ferocious.
Uglier than the least of it. The beast looks rabid.
In that case, you'll have the pleasure of putting her down yourself.
I wish for you to try it.
I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know, leader of the Legion in Shanessiel. By which I mean I have the enviable task of commanding a battalion of walking dead. For I fear it may well be but a matter of time before the undead undo all my soldiers and turn them into drivelling hordes of their own misshapen number. Gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar. Ridiculous! I told that wizard brat of an Ahu not to bother. But he just had to send for source hunters, didn't he? Bloody magicians. They see a pigeon poop and think sorcery's afoot.
The cretin's question crossed her lips and ached an air of aptitude.
Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop. Understand? I am in command of this town, not Mayor Cecil, not Ahu, and definitely not some hotshot source hunter. So investigate Jake's death if you feel so inclined, but report back to me the moment you discover something out of the ordinary. The scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell the guard you have my permission to enter. Now off with you! Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order So, you found a blooded knife in Esmeralda's cellar. Guess you can scratch the top candidate off your list of cliched clues, then? Not exactly enough to arrest her for, is it? How to plan the perfect murder. Really? Really? She might as well wear a dress with the words "I killed Jake and I liked it" embroidered on it. But that alone wouldn't suffice to convince me. So convince me, if you must. Bravo! Figured that one out, did you? I haven't been stuck here for 2 years because we're being besieged by fluffy kittens, you know. Those brain-feasting freaks out there keep on coming. I'd say they're looking for weak spots in our defenses. They can't make an attack over land for fear of Ahu's magical machines, so they're trying their luck by sea. They won't succeed, though. Not against the Legion. Ah, the Source Hunter. Oh, joyous hour. Ah, the Source Hunter. Oh, joyous hour.
Don't pay attention to that, Sirius. You'll only encourage it. You don't think it's effective, do you?
Now I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
And now a stern chastisement in 3, 2...
think you're doing? Ah, the Source Hunter. Oh, joyous hour.
Loon, you've been naughty around here?
You, again. Do feel free to depart from Shanessiel at your earliest convenience.
That's enough of that now!
Everyone knows the ugly soldiers are the most ferocious. In that case, you'll have the pleasure of putting her down yourself.
I wish for you to try it, screech woman. The beast have a ring back. All had the threatened question crossed her lips and ached an air of aptitude.
Hey, no, I think that was an insult.
Don't pay attention to the beast. You'll only encourage it. You don't think it's effective, do you?
Oh, what now?
I've been involved. I'll be disfigured for life.
Come on with the dramatics. It's not as bad as all that.
The face furious. She bit me in the face.
Look on the bright side. Everyone knows the ugly soldiers are the most ferocious.
And now a stern chastisement in 3, 2...
Come on with the dramatics. It's not as bad as all that.
And now a stern chastisement in 3, 2...
We'll have none of that, you hear?
An engineer of aptitude.
Hey, Tom, I think that was an insult.